the Mathrubhumi group for inviting me. I'm sorry I can't be there in Thiruvananthapuram with you. I would much rather be in Kerala than be in Delhi at the moment. I've always said the further you go away from Delhi, life gets better. And therefore you cannot go as far as Kerala, probably Andaman and Nicobar Islands, but otherwise, further you are from Delhi, life gets better in a way. So thank you very much to the Mathrubhumi group for inviting me. As Oleg said, I am also trying to demystify the topic. Sacred Facts is the session that where in this session looking at the complex relationship that has developed between media and social media in recent years. So that's what I want to focus on. How this complex relationship, and I'll just spend 10 minutes because you have such an esteemed panel there, is social media and the rise of social media acting as a watchdog for the mainstream media, as a corrective, or is it simply creating an illusion of being a democratic space, which actually is only further polarizing and coarsening and poisoning the political discourse? This is what I want to address. The rise of social media and its impact on mainstream media. Has it only led to further polarizing and poisoning of the newsroom and the political and social climate? I want to start with a very recent example. Just a few days ago, I was sent photographs of water logging that had taken place in the Central Vista. For those who don't know where the Central Vista is, it is in the heart of Delhi, near India Gate and Rajpath. This is the Prime Minister's pet project. And I was sent photographs by a retired IAS officer who had gone on his morning walk and had taken photographs of the water logging when there was rain in Delhi last week. When I put the pictures on social media, on Twitter, I received a barrage of abuse from right-wing social media handles, some of whom accused me of using old pictures. So I rechecked again with the IAS officer, who sent me a Google timeline of all the pictures he had taken between 7:48 a.m. and 8:50 a.m. in the morning. I put these pictures with the timeline on social media. But even that was not enough to convince those who accused me of planting a fake news story. Next day, the minister in charge, Hardeep Puri, put out bright pictures 24 hours after the waterlogging and then accused us of running a fake narrative. Another union minister, General V.K. Singh, went to the extent of once again accusing journalists of being prostitutes. Please notice what is happening. Union ministers in this country on social media can call journalists prostitutes, can accuse us of running fake narratives. They can abuse journalists based only on photographs of water logging. If photographs of water logging are going to unnerve union ministers, imagine what the state we have reached of intolerance, of unwillingness to see the mirror. We even got the chief engineer to come on camera and we recorded and put on YouTube how there had been water logging. But this did not stop the social media army of the right wing to continue with their relentless attack. The aim, my friends, is clear in this instance and many others. There is a concerted attempt today to destroy the credibility of the so-called mainstream media by acting in concert like a pack of wolves to create a parallel universe of alternate facts. Many of these social media handles are supported by one or the other political party. And it is this nexus between state political power and social media influencers that is making their presence so dangerous for the future of journalism and fact-based journalism. Because through these armies, political parties are being able to slowly but surely influence the media dialogue, discourse and control in a way newsroom agendas. Don't be surprised, my friends, that you will find the very issues that are trending on social media, the very hashtags that are put out, also the same one will appear on prime time TV. In a sense, social media managers of political parties and IT cells of these parties are today dictating the news discourse, and mainstream media is following the agenda set by them rather than being able to set their own agenda. But why do we blame social media for what is wrong with our own newsrooms? When we replace sense with sensation, news with noise, opinion with fact, we are creating an ecosystem of news where it is very easy to distort the reality. I recall with horror, my friends, the manner in which, for example, newsrooms dealt with the death of a Bollywood actor, Sushant Singh Rajput, a few years ago, 2 years ago in fact, without any verification, based on entirely unsubstantiated allegations. News TV claimed it was a case of murder and not of suicide. It was almost as if a film script was being put out that would grab the eyeballs rather than an attempt to seek to discover the truth. A young woman even went to jail because she was the subject of the most horrendous media trial. Her only crime was that she was Sushant Singh Rajput's girlfriend in this age of media noise. Part of the reason why TV media in particular is so susceptible to this sensationalist narrative is because of the role of TRPs or television rating points. When the quality of journalism is judged not by content but by a flawed rating system, then it is so easy to fall prey to sensationalism. I myself, in a way, have been both victim and villain. Last year, I was covering on Republic Day the farmer protest in Delhi. And on live TV, I was with a family whose young person had died, and they claimed he had been shot by the police. Now, in a live TV situation, you have very little time to verify. News today takes place in real time on television, on the internet, and therefore, without getting the police version, that went out. As it turned out, the person's tractor had tumbled out, and that's how he had died. But by then, to some extent, you could argue I was guilty of putting out a false narrative. I am happy to have to today tell you that I have learned my lesson. I am much more conscious of the fact that in real-time TV or in real-time news age, you have to be very careful with what you get on WhatsApp or the kind of information you get. You cannot be first, you must be accurate. Let me tell you though that the worst example of how this is playing out, and I hope that this will be part of your debate, Ullekh, is how sensitive issues of religious identity are being handled today. On social media, a hate factory can spew out the worst form of communal venom without any controls. Unfortunately, even news channels have begun to profit from hate by every day running a Hindu-Muslim discourse that is aimed at appealing to the baser instincts of people of prejudice and bigotry. It is almost as if every Muslim is put through a test of patriotism on TV, even as Hindus claim victimhood. You might recall during Corona, during COVID, the Tabligh Jamaat had assembled in one place in Nizamuddin in Delhi. Because Corona cases were rising, and in that area, the entire Tabligh Jamaat was accused of being Corona spreaders, almost as if their community was being targeted. As a result, what happened? Muslim vegetable vendors were boycotted in different parts of the country. Rather than examining, interrogating conflicting claims, we end up therefore giving space to stereotypes and the most extreme opinion for what passes off as a TV debate. It is an alarming situation that calls for urgent course correction. We cannot remain prisoners any longer of a business model that seeks to profit from hate and polarization. Politicians do so because winning elections from them is about vote banks and never a morality test. Journalism is a morality challenge, a moral challenge, and not just a business proposition. We have to be open to criticism, but we cannot become prisoners of a false narrative that creates a them versus us battle. Journalism's primary task is to tell truth to power, not to become a cheerleader for those in power. It cannot also be that if I tell you a fact that discomforts you as a viewer, I am called anti-national. If I report or discuss the Chinese intrusion in Ladakh, or just as I said earlier, waterlogging in the heart of Delhi, I am not acting against the national interest, but I am putting forward what I believe are the facts. I believe the national interest lies in telling facts, good, bad, and ugly, not in destroying the social fabric of a plural, diverse country like ours. I believe that journalists, therefore, have a duty to introspect and ask themselves, why did we become journalists? If we answer that question honestly, I believe we will find solutions to this crisis of facts versus a post-truth society. That's what I wish to say. I now leave it to you to take forward the debate. Thank you very much.